Hi Engineering Janta, I am Vaibhav Shukla and today we'll understand the code implementation of infix to prefix conversion using stacks. Now this is the part 2 of this video and this is another video in the free DSA series that we are building for you so that you thrive high in your career. For those who haven't watched the part 1, I strongly suggest you go ahead watch the part 1 because I have explained in detail how the conversion happens, how and what exactly the process of this conversion is. Also, I suggest you that you go ahead and watch infix to postfix conversion first because the exact code piece would be used here. I would not be going in detail of the postfix code which will be used here because I have explained it earlier. So I will not waste your time, and respecting that I will further go and explain the various other functions that are being used. Basically, if I give you a quick recap of it, how infix to prefix conversion happens. First is you reverse the expression, whatever you got, then interchange the brackets, then whatever expression you obtained by interchanging the brackets, convert it to postfix. When you get a postfix expression, reverse it and you will get a output which is prefix expression. Fine. So for the conversion of that postfix, I'll be using exactly the infix to postfix conversion that we were using earlier. Fine. So if I show you the code, it looks like this, exactly the same as infix to postfix. I have explained this code in infix to postfix. You can go and watch that video. Same code, even variable names and everything, every statement here is same, each and every statement. Now I'll go further. This is also same. This method is also same. Fine. Only difference that you would find is that in the last video it was covert infix to postfix, and in the final main section also I had written it covert only because it was something that my design team was very curious about and they did some wonders to my slide. But apart from them, it is convert infix to postfix, and I have done this in this particular slide. Fine. So in further functions, wherever it will be used as convert infix to postfix. Leave that. This is exactly the same code, no changes at all till this particular place. Now here it does change. Fine. Now if I tell you that you have an expression, I'll explain you the reverse function and how it functions. Fine. So just take an example of, what should be the example? Let's take an example of a plus b, and this is enclosed in brackets. Fine. Why I am doing it? Because later on I'll tell you how to interchange the brackets using this example only. Fine. Now see carefully. In this reverse function, this is returning nothing, so void. You pass this particular expression. Using this string length method, you declare a variable, integer type of variable, size. You try and store the size of this particular string. Now if you check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is the size, string length will return 5. However, let me tell you that in the memory, this string would be stored something like this. But this particular place would not be counted. This would not be counted, let me tell you. So what happens here is, this is the string length. This would be returned by string length. So string length will basically return you 5. Fine. So this is 5, that the value you will get here, and you store it in size. Now you declare an integer variable j which stores the value of size. Now I is 0. Now in this case, again I is another integer variable. You declare another array which is a temporary array, and this temporary array is equal to the size of this particular string. Fine. So if it is of size of this particular string, then it has these values. Fine. And this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So again 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. But if you carefully see, what's happening here is you store you start from the value of size is 5. So j will point somewhere here at another 5th index, and here you will already store this particular ending character using this statement, and then you post decrement it. Basically, after storing 0, what I do here is I decrement j, post decrement happens after the assignment, and j starts pointing here. Fine. Now when this happens, what you do is you say while expression of I, fine, while this string that I have encounters this particular character, while it is not encountering this. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, till you're having characters in it and your character that you scanned is not equal to this particular character, which is the ending character. Until your string has not ended, you have to run this loop. Fine. So I start from here. When I start from here, temp of j equals to exp of I is actually 0. I has initialized from 0. J is actually at index 4. What I say is, I is pointing here. Fine. So I say that take this particular element, store it here. So I do it. Then I is incremented and j is decremented. So first of all, I'll decrement j because this statement is executing. So I'll take this and I'll decrement the value of j. J gets decremented, j comes here. Then I increments and I goes to the next value. Fine. And then again the loop functions because still the string is not 0, it can still read another character. Now 0 means the final null value. Fine. So in this case, again I take temp of j. Temp of j is temp of, right now it is pointing at index 3. Fine. Equals to expression of I is pointing at 1. So temp of 3 is equal to exp of, this is exp. Fine. So exp of 1, which is nothing but a. So I'll assign this a here, I'll put this a here, and then I'll decrement the value of j. I decrement it and it comes here. I again increment the value of I. Fine. And I comes at this particular location, and so on. This loop goes on and the whole string is copied in a reverse manner. If you carefully see, it would be copied in a reverse manner. Fine. So when it is copied in a reverse manner, this is how your reverse expression would look like. Fine. See, after executing this full loop, I get this particular string as my expression or my reversed string. So if you carefully see, this is exact reverse of this string. Now what I'll do, I'll take the string copy method. This is the S1 or the source. Is it? No, it's not. Basically what happens is, source is written here, destination is written here. So this is S2 and this is S1. Fine. So what will happen, whatever you have in temporary, you copy it in exp. Fine. So now exp will become this temp or temp. So what I'm trying to say is, now you have to just figure out or imagine that this particular array would be replaced by this array, or the values of this particular temp or temp would be copied to the expression or the exp of your system. Fine. So what I'll do is, I'll rather erase the names of it. I'll just erase the name of it, and now this becomes exp. I have copied all the values to exp. Fine. So this is the exp now. Fine. Now in this case, you have reversed the expression, but your brackets aren't interchanged. I'll erase it. Your brackets aren't interchanged. So in this case, if you carefully see, this expression has now become this. Is this expression making any sense? What are these brackets for? What are they doing here? What sense are they making? Nothing. So what I'll do is, I'll go further and I'll go ahead with this brackets function. Now I again give that expression here. Fine. Whatever you had, basically you had this expression, no? B plus A. You had this expression. Now I initialize an integer variable I at 0. Again, till you scan the full string, you keep on going through the loop. Now if the character that you scan is an opening bracket, change it to the closing bracket. Else if it is a closing bracket, change it to the opening bracket. Very simple code. इन दोनों के अलावा कोई भी केस है, keep on moving forward, don't care. Simple, fine. So I start scanning from here. I get it that the expression of I is a closing bracket. This is not true. In this case, this is a closing bracket. So what I'll do is, I change that particular bracket to the opening bracket. Expression of I or the exp of I. I is pointing out here right now. So this should be changed, or this should be replaced with an opening bracket. So I replace it with an opening bracket. Fine. Then the exact same expression, or rather I will replace it here only so that you get a better understanding of it. So I replace it here only. Fine. I was pointing out here. I replace it and then I increment the I. As soon as I gets incremented, I starts pointing here. Now both the cases are not there, so you need not execute any case. You just keep on incrementing I. So again I goes here. Fine. Again it is not out of these two cases, so I will just get incremented. Again it is not out of these two cases, I will get incremented. As soon as I gets incremented, or rather make it like this, as soon as I starts pointing to the opening bracket now what will happen? See carefully. Again I come here, again I check, and as soon as I check the condition, if expression of I is equal to opening bracket, this is true. So what I'll do is, I will execute this statement. So this would be replaced, this bracket would be replaced by a closing bracket, right? Clear? Is it clear? Now if you carefully see, I plus plus, this particular thing will happen and you will reach at this character which is not usually mentioned. So this loop will stop, and if you see, brackets have been changed, brackets have been absolutely changed, right? And now this expression makes sense, right? So now what I'll do is, I'll subject this expression to, say that I had got the expression A plus B only. I'll go through with the simpler example so that you understand it well, and then you can dry run things. Fine. So A plus B was our initial expression. Now imagine that I had subjected this expression here, fine, to this particular method, infix to prefix. Now we will come to this method. Now if I tell you that here I gave A plus B in the brackets closed, first thing we did was reverse the expression. So here what you got, B plus A, not A plus B. So I will go ahead and write this out. So this was the first output. If you correctly remember, this was the output of reverse, isn't it? Wasn't it the same output that we received? So yes, we are going good. Now we need to change the brackets. When I change the brackets, what I get here as the output, A plus B, no, B plus A, pardon, this is reversed. So this is B plus A, only thing changed is the brackets. So if you carefully see, we have just done that using this expression, right? Now once it is done, you need to convert infix to postfix, and you will pass this expression this time, because every time I am updating the expression, so I pass this particular expression to this function. Fine. Now this is an infix function, it will be converted to a postfix function. Fine. What will happen? Simply using a stack, it will check if it is an opening bracket, push it. If it is an operand, output it. So rather I would present its output here only. Wait. So the output that we are having here, that I am representing with this orange color, I'll choose the orange color, fine. So here whatever I am representing with the orange color is the output of infix to postfix, fine. Now I go ahead and I print B. Now I scan a operator. This operator can be pushed inside. For those who know why am I pushing it inside, great. For those who don't, go ahead, watch the infix to postfix video. I push it inside. Again, I move further. I find a operand. I print it again. Then I find a closing bracket. As soon as I find a closing bracket, I start popping things out till I encounter opening bracket. Fine. So I have encountered opening bracket after popping. So popping has happened. Everything has been removed. I'll discard both of these brackets. I'll discard them, and here I will present plus as the output to be printed. So BA plus is something that should be printed here. Fine. And this is the postfix expression. This is the postfix expression. Now for this reverse, fine. When I reverse this expression, this is the expression that I have now, fine, or this is what I have stored in exp, fine. As soon as I get this, I reverse it, which is reversing it would result into plus AB, and this final expression that I have obtained, cout expression, if I go ahead, this is the prefix expression, fine. So this is the prefix expression, as simple as that. Now what you need to do is, I have explained you using a very simple example how the functions are working. What you need to do is take this example, fine, and I'm telling you it is a very simple example, very simple example, fine. All you need to do is, let me do a few things for you here. A plus B multiplied by a bracket of C exponent D minus E, again bracket closed, exponent, and then F, or this is raised to the power operator basically, fine, for those who aren't understanding what I'm saying. Now, and again there is something minus I, fine, so minus I. So what you can do is, for this particular expression, try and dry run it yourself. Tell me in the comments if you have any doubts, fine. I have explained you using a very simple example. It is working in the same way, fine. Let me tell you one thing, what you can do. I minus, now this is a particular closing bracket, then H, then the multiplication operator, then G, then plus, then F, then opening bracket, then again exponent, then closing bracket, then E, then minus, then D, then again exponent, then C, then opening bracket, then multiplication operator, and then B, and then A, fine. So these are the reverse expression. So what we did, what this reverse can do, this particular reverse function, this reverse function would, rather I would erase all ink here, and now I'll show you that this particular reverse function delivers us this, fine. So if it delivers us this is the output of reverse function. What we will do is, we'll go ahead and interchange the brackets, fine. So I interchange the brackets of it, and if I interchange the brackets of it, what do I get? I'll write here so that things become easy for you, fine. I minus, now I change this bracket to opening bracket, fine. I minus H star G plus F, H star G plus F, and now I go forward. Again I need to interchange the bracket. I keep on interchanging the brackets, and then E minus D exponent C, E minus D exponent C, or the raised to power C, and then what's further? I again change it to the closing bracket. Change it to the closing bracket, then multiplication operator B, and then what's there? Plus A. So this is the expression that you get after reversing and interchanging the brackets. Once it has been done, all you need to do is convert this into a postfix expression. Once you convert it into a postfix expression, you reverse it and you get the final output. I am leaving this for you because approximately in 3 videos I have explained the same concept again and again and again, and this is the 4th video where I have explained you the working of this again. So what you need to do is go ahead, taking this particular string, fine, taking this particular string that you are having on the screen, subject it to the infix to postfix conversion function and convert this particular string into a postfix expression, then reverse it and get the prefix output, and whatever output you get, go ahead, comment that output. I'll check and tell you whether it is the correct answer or not. Tell me the correct answer or the correct output, which will be the correct prefix expression of this particular string. We started from here. So if you correctly remember, we started from here. So for this particular string, I have done half of your job. You go ahead, you tell me what will be the prefix expression for this particular string. How will you do it? I have reversed it. I have interchanged its brackets. All you need to do is subject this particular expression to the infix to postfix conversion. You convert it into the postfix, then reverse it, and the answer will be the prefix expression that we want. And whatever answer you get, go ahead, tell me in the comments. I'll check it out and I'll respond whether it is correct or not. Fine. So there is another advantage that you will have. All those who comment can stand a chance to win free Prep Insta Prime subscription for 3 months. Fine. So that's one added advantage, and go ahead, follow us on these social media handles so that you never miss any hiring update for your career. That's all for this particular video. Go ahead, keep doing good. Good will come back to you.